Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of our Tea Talk with Goodness Usman, your number one real estate talk show in Africa. And thanks to each and every one of you who keep watching every time we upload a new episode. I'm delighted to be back with you all on today's episode. Now, before we go into the full episode, I want to apologize, okay? I know that we've been missing out on some episode, and sometimes we upload, sometimes we don't upload. I'm really, really sorry, and this is due to events that are beyond my control. And thank you to those of you who reach out and like, oh, what happened? No tea talk anymore. We're missing this week and all of that. Thank you. I really do appreciate everyone who reached out. And I promise you guys, I'll keep doing everything in my power to ensure that we don't miss any episode. All right, so today's episode, before we go into it, let's observe our ritual. You already know. But perhaps you're new on this channel. I want to say welcome. And hey, this is our tradition. You first of all make sure that you are relaxed wherever you are watching me. And you grab yourself a cup of tea, a glass of wine, water, juice, whatever rocks your boat. Or maybe you're a coffee person. Just ensure that you have that and you're sipping the tea along with me. And that's what it is. Tea Talk with Goodness. So now, for those of you who already know, I'm is it safe to say I'm addict? Okay, now let's not use the word addict on this channel. I'm a lover of green tea, and so I'm just gonna grab my own green tea, and we're going to get into the conversation while we sip our tea. Are you ready? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, shall we? Ooh, oh my God, three is always the magic. Okay, so while that is out of the way, let's have the conversation. So let's get right into today's conversation. And this one is solely or majorly directed towards real estate investors in the Nigerian real estate market who are pessimistic. Oh my God. I just feel like it's about time we address this. Now, you probably listen to me and you're like, I'm not a pessimistic person. I only have a positive outlook about things, especially investment. But at the end of this conversation, you probably would get why you are in this category. And I know that naturally, environments, not either naturally or by environment or by the society, we or by the reoccurrence of certain kind of events, we then find ourselves to be pessimistic. But I feel like in generally in life, we shouldn't be a pessimistic person, but rather be more of an optimistic person. Trust me, we've seen stories or we've seen situations whereby it was because the person is optimistic and then they were able to get out of very, very terrible situations. Now, that's in general. Anyway, focus back to real estate. Why do I feel like this is a conversation we should have over a tea and while you're sipping your tea or drink whichever rock your boat? Is because when you come and talk about certain projects, especially landmark projects, you find people in the comment section or somebody who just devote their time and call you, and everything they have to say is negativity. They just come and tell you why those things will not work. Why is it that you cannot see reason that it's gonna work? Kilo de gangan. Let me go to my village. Sorry if I'm not a Yoruba person on which time. You already know me, right? Why can't you just believe that maybe that change you've been clamoring for is here? Now, it makes me wonder, you want a change and then yet you are very pessimistic. How does the two even go together? Right? So let me kind of put a direction to this, or let's eat the nail on the neck. So some few years ago, say like 7, 8 years ago, when Ibajulaki became a thing or started becoming a thing, Ekpa was still like in the shadow. And then we're talking about how maybe we should come and invest here. It's going to be the third largest commercial hub, which happens to be my favorite word anytime I'm talking about that location. Because, I mean, across Africa, let's look at what's happening now. Though the pessimistic will still say that Nigeria is no longer the giant of Africa, where that's also subject to discussion. But as far as me I'm concerned, Nigeria is still the diet of African. And I know that some people say, oh, she's too optimistic, she's too positive about Nigeria. Hey, John Tori Olon, the question I want to ask you is, if I'm not positive about Nigeria that I am in, John, where should I be positive about? Where? Where Tori Olon? Even if I'm gonna get it, well, let's not go into that. But the truth is, telling, Takisa Shini Taton. Sorry, I have to bring the Nollywood part of me into this conversation. But the truth is, we have to find a way to be optimistic, especially if you have decided to put your hard earned money into this Nigeria, whether Lagos or Abuja, Ibadan, anywhere in Nigeria, whether if you're investing in Port Harcourt, you're investing in Kogi, where I come from, yes, proudly a Kogi woman, Okon woman precisely, or you decide to put your money in, if you're from maybe Plateau, or maybe you're from Cross River. I mean, we've got beautiful, beautiful states in Nigeria, beautiful people. We are even amazing people. If you have decided to invest in Nigeria, why do you now allow yourself to be more pessimistic than optimistic? Please make it make sense. Don't hear me. I'm not understanding it. It's like two different things that don't go together. So, putting this in context, when we started selling Bejuleki, we told you guys about how the Dangote refinery is going to be built, the fertilizer industry, the petrochemical, and so many other factories are embedded in one, owned by the Dangote group, right? We later talked about the Lekki Deep Seaport, Lekki Free Trade Zone. I heard people still saying it today, even when they have seen koro koro bai. You know when they say oju koro cooking, oju koro je. Koro like this. You are seeing it, okay? The Dangote industry there is already functioning. The fertilizer is functioning. Lekki Deep Seaport is operational. I know someone who ordered a car into this country, took the delivery. You know, before I said they are functioning there. I know somebody who works there. Now I know someone who bought a car and took it to that. He didn't take it through Tinkan Island. He brought it in from there. And they cleared it and voila. One drive there, boom, boom, to his house. So some people still don't believe. Some people, I had an experience, I think about 3 weeks ago. About 3 weeks ago, I'm back to production of my films, right? And then I was while I was shooting, I had an old client who came into the country, who bought into one of the properties we have in Ibejuleki back then, and then in Nepe. And then this person went to check the location. No PRAO notification from me, and then the person wanted to. That's the only timeline the person had. So we had to just describe how he was going to get and see these properties. And then when he was done, he came and said, that place, precisely, he said, that place we never, he used the word never, that place we never, nothing will never happen in that place in the next 50 years. Ladies and gentlemen, what this person is saying is that in a couple of weeks, days to come, or weeks rather, I'm going to be 40, 4 decades on the surface of Earth. This person is saying in 5 decades' time, if God tarries and grace is upon my life, I will be 90 years old before Ekpe or Ibejuleki becomes functional. I mean, when people say things like that, oh my God. Respectfully, I always wonder, how do they reason? Emma Binuto, your law. You went to a place, you saw that Lekki Free Trade Zone is operational. You can see all of those industries. You can see the Lekki Deep Seaport, the Dangote, even the private businesses. You can see. Do you know how much transport people are making in that Ibejuleki zone from Eleko Junction all the way down to Lakapine? How much? I remember that 3 or 4 years ago, I was talking about, I did a video and I was showing how much business, this is a business for people who are into transportation, Keken Marwa and all of those. And it's still not enough. The demand in that place is not even enough. I mean, the demand is more than the supply, basically. So in 2025, someone calls me and say, it's okay if you're not believing in a long-term investment in the environment. You don't want to wait. That's fine. But guess what? This is the other side to it. People who fall into this category also cannot afford a bubbling place like Lekki Phase 1. Let's even leave Lekki Phase 1. I think it's even overrated at this point, depending on your choice anyway. But let's look at places like Aja, where they are selling a plot of land now, 120 million, 150 million, 200 million. Do you know that now in Aja, we have houses that are selling at 300 million naira? Well, that's another conversation for another day, whether it's totally worth it. If those houses are worth 300 million. Because I think some houses I'm like, kilo day in Aja, 300 million naira. Well, that's a conversation for another day. But the truth is, back then, this same 5 years ago, when we were selling Okun Aja, hey, Jesus Christ. I remember Orange Vial. That was the very first property owned by Landway that I marketed. We sold it then for 7 million at Sea of Land. In Okun Aja there. Now, 5 years down the line, that same Orange Vial is valued at, let's say, 100 million. Or minimum, you do 80 million. 80 million. Go and check how much of Monile land is being sold there. Back then too, people were saying, who lives in Aja? I've said it on this show over and over. How my colleagues back then, when I used to work in Lekki Phase 1, and I moved to Aja, my colleagues were like, where do you live again? No, that's not Lagos. They used to tell me that Aja is not Lagos. I said in Thomas Estate then. They say it's not part of the island. That is downtown. And that's why I always used to use the word downtown. So what I'm saying is, as an investor in this market, except if you're not an investor in this market, it's okay. But if you're an investor in this market, then you should not be in the category of a pessimistic person. If you're doing it, then stop it, because you're not even doing yourself good. Why are you putting your money in a place where you don't have faith in? You don't believe in the things we come and tell you. I mean, this particular person, I'm sorry if he's watching, but I mean, really, we just have to. And the reason why I'm addressing this, because I just wanted to ensure that we grow the right mindset, because it's all about mindset, right? You're saying that Ibeju Lekki will never be functional in the next 50 years. Obviously, it's the mindset of the person, right? But the truth is, even when we started selling, I personally entered into that market 6 years ago or thereabout. I never thought that these industries we're talking about right now will be functional now. I think I gave it a 10 years gap. So I probably saw this happening in another 3 years to come. But here we are. Now, let me now go to the next one. Lekki Epe Airport. Oh my God. There's nothing I've not heard about that. Oh my God. You know, my prayer is that God will keep all of us alive and we witness this project. Now, they had come 2 years ago. The government told us they're ready. They marked the place. They placed a signboard on it. NTDA, blah, 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 blah. They started selling land around the location. But most recently, which is like 2 weeks ago, the government has sent an MOU. Yes, Lagos State government has sent an MOU. Yes. In preparation of the long-awaited Lekki Epe Airport. I know so many people say, we're talking about Fairmont Green. Come on, buy Fairmont Green. Oh, which airport? Airport that will never happen. It's not government. Government will never this. Government will never that. Government will never. I get it, because at the end of the day, it is also some of these things is supposed to be blamed on the government a bit, because we know how they are. They can take 1 million years before they come to, maybe me too, I'm exaggerating when I say 1 million years. But we understand where all of that is coming from. But then, don't be a total doubting Thomas. So, which brings me to telling you, the Lekki airport is here already and is here to stay. So the question is, are you going to position yourself? Some people have already positioned themselves. Whether it's interesting how some people also have this mindset that people aren't buying. That some people will use the word like, when their right senses will go and put 80 million naira in Ibeju Lekki. And I'm like, that's not the right choice of word, because whether you and I like it or not, it is still the fastest growing commercial hub in Africa. Third largest DC, right? And from my day-to-day experience there now, it's, in fact, if you ask me to come and go to Ibeju Lekki, I always think about it, because it's a whole lot of journey, and then the activity around that place, the activity right now. So Just picture when they start the construction of the airport. Just picture it. So yes, I'm saying don't be pessimistic. Be more optimistic. Believe in our government. Yes, they will not see. The truth is, something that have gone bad over decades. Do we expect it to just instantly change? But the question I also put to you is, why is the government interested in this locality? Why is the Lagos State government, federal government, why are they interested in these houses? Why did Dangote choose that location? Ibejuleke houses. If you ask questions very well, clearly you will get your answers and then see why you should position yourself. Like I said, we started selling Bejuleki for a while. A lot of people are bought into it. Do you still need to buy more? Yes, if you can. If you have the resources, why not? If not, now that everything is happening so fast, is also the time to get on board. That's only you that you are not yet invested. Or maybe you have invested back then. You're part of those people that bought a session in process, and we all know how that went. I bought a session in process. I invested because I believed in what I was talking about, and that was why I invested in it. Please, if you are going to ask me a question about that, respectfully, don't. Thank you. So yes, now that we all see what's happening, much is happening right there, a lot is happening. The Lagos Calabar Highway project, we obviously didn't see it coming in 2024, 2025, because I was one of the people that also did. In fact, a lot of the time back then, let's say like 4 years ago, when we talk about the road, how the road will link from VI, it will link. A lot of that I didn't understand it, to be honest. Now I have a clearer picture, obviously, and it's so interesting, it's so amazing how what we have talked about, we're now living it. Now, what I'm saying to you is don't be a doubting Thomas to the extent that you lose out or miss out on good opportunities that are presented to you in these localities. Right? Don't be. You have no reason to be. I'm like, oh, you know, be like those people that will say, wọ́n máa fi ilẹ̀ lọ mí ní ẹ̀pẹ́ ńgbà yẹn ní 100,000 50,000 mi ò rà o. It's the one that usually pains me so much. It's those people that say history of how Morocco, they were supposed to buy Morocco and they did not know that Morocco will become Lekki Phase 1 will become what it become. I wish I can give those people a bombastic side eye. I cannot. Anyways, you get the drift, and what I'm saying in essence is, please, now is still the best time for you to invest in Ibejuleki, considering what is happening right now and what is meant to come. So if you have the opportunity to buy into places like Fairmont Green is on the airport road. You know, when people came then and said, oh, Fairmont Green is not a property on the road, I want to facing the Lekki Expressway. I said it then. That is just, as much as this properties facing the Lekki Expressway is a good investment, you still need to buy into Fairmont Green because Fairmont Green is now on the airport road. It's like you own a property on the airport road in Ikeja. Very close to the airport, like few minutes from the airport. Few minutes, you literally can work. And then we're going to be seeing what is happening there. Trust us in Nigeria, when they start the construction, we'll stay on it. Just like we're staying on this Lagos Calabar Highway project. And encouraging you to invest as much as you can. Right. So people that have invested in Oniru, VI, Jakonde, they didn't know that Lekki Coastal Road will eventually pass there. Some people didn't. Some people did and they didn't believe. Now it affected some. Now it has positioned some people, and the value of their property have gone. And that's one of the things that I love about real estate. And when we use the word strategically positioning yourself, it means that you don't just invest in a place for investing's sake. You need to find out what's happening in that area, what's coming. It's not just what's happening now. What is coming into that locality? What will be coming into that area? Some people are already positioning themselves in certain places in Ogun State, certain places in Calabar. In fact, that somebody called me and said he's into truck and whatnot. And that if I know, because I'm staying on top of the project, that if I know where exactly they started in Calabar, I'm like, if I'm Calabar, have I really been to Calabar? I don't think so. So if I'm going to go to Calabar, it's going to be this year, maybe. So how am I going to know what is going to happen or what's going to happen I don't know yet. Yeah, I have friends there who are staying on top of the project now. But I know from my friends and who are there and also part of this project that they've started work in some part of this places. Do you understand? So some people are already, what I'm saying in essence, that some people are already even buying land in Calabar. Look at City View Gwagwala that we're talking about. You know the road Wike is going to do? Eh? Now, City View is looking like what's around it. But Wike just told us that he's going to do that road. Now, when he completes the road, do you know how much it will affect City View? But you're buying it now when the road has not been constructed. When it's then constructed, you are getting value. Because the price will not be the same. The same thing is what is happening now. Right? You know, people like Meridian Boulevard will say if they had known, they wouldn't have sold Meridian Boulevard when they started selling it. They would have waited now or wait till 2026. Do you know how much they'll be selling it in 2026? But they've sold everything now. And you, an investor there, or the investors who have invested there, are taking advantage of it. So, in a nutshell, respectfully, invest in Ibejuleki. Now is the time. Invest, invest, invest. You know, one thing that I've seen that is not happening in Ibejuleki now is there's no apartment options. That's why I always carry Synergy Garden on my head. And people like Alexander Court, which of course people like Alexander Court now, the terraces, when did they introduce into market? It's already sold out. So I was going to say that earlier. So people say, oh, who is buying? Because you are not buying, my brother, my sister. People are buying. So don't say in the corner of your house, sipping your tea and pay. People are not buying. What? People are buying. Hey, when you hear this one, it's so that I'm buying gun. And even all of these estates put together, it's still not enough to the demand that is coming to that environment. Like I said, we're not even seeing houses yet. We're not seeing apartments, and there's already a surge, a high demand for houses, good houses. People who work in this environment, in these companies, people already have their businesses there. So yes, it is still the best time to invest. We have Peak Palm there in Ibejuleki. We have Fairmont Green and a couple of other ones that I've not talked about on this channel that we're going to bring in up. So many estates. MKH brought their own new estate as a Chum City. You know, there's of course I've mentioned Synergy Gardens. There's Alexander Court. There's Gracias Morganite is there. It's way expensive now. Of course, there's a couple of them is there. Right, that they are accredited. They have COO. They're government allocated land. All you need to do is just dial my number. Let's discuss and get you invested in these areas now in 2025. If you have invested before, keep investing. And if you're yet to invest at all, do not regret this decision of not investing. Thank you so much. And please, I'll be in the comment section reading your comments. Yes, I read the comments. Sometimes I'm not even responding with one of my team members, but I read the comments, and thank you to all of you that always make it out time to comment, to keep it, sometimes there's some basketball in the comment section. Oh, no problem. Thank you. Everybody has rights to their opinion. Boy, Joe, let us opinion be respectfully. And don't take me out of context. A shaker in advance. All right. My name remains Good Businessman. Of course, I'm your favorite host on the show, and this is where I call it a wrap. And I'm seeing you in the next episode or in the next video. Happy New Week in advance, and I look forward to, and you should actually look forward to our next episode video on the Know Your Neighborhood series, the next couple of hours. Look out for it. You're gonna love it because it's informative, very, very packed information. Thank you once again. You remain safe and awesome, just the way you are. And I say to you,